Go. All right. Welcome into another episode of the Football is King podcast. Brace yourselves for this one because it was a controversial week in the NFL, and we're going to get into it right away. Once again, we thank you all for liking, subscribing. Well, we have some new subscribers this week. Welcome to the community. It's a good one. We had one of our most viewed episodes of an NFL podcast last week, so I don't know what we were doing right. We'll keep doing it. Is it because Jonathan wasn't here? Who knows?
Maybe.
He's not here again, so let's see if we can put up those numbers. This is another one of those where we'll test whether or not he actually listens while he's gone. He's on vacation, so you know what? He's earned it. Good for him. We got to start off with our headlines. Guess what? We got another Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift update. Tavis, if you will. I have officially put on my tinfoil hat on the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift relationship, and I think that Las Vegas is going to sabotage their relationship because the amount of bets that are on Travis Kelce that he keeps hitting week after week just keep increasing every week because who knew the Swifties were gamblers? Who knew? The past 3 weeks, his the prop bets on Travis Kelce have just gone through the roof, and he's hit every single time. So I think that Vegas is going to start, getting some dirt.
Plus, aren't the Chiefs 4-1 now since she showed up?
The Chiefs are
against the spread. 4-1 against the spread.
Yeah, 4-1 against the spread. I think they are 5-2 on the year against the spread. Which the Chiefs are a historically bad team against the spread because they're so good with Mahomes that usually the spread does not favor them because the public thinks that they'll win every game by 20. There's that. Also, Sarah would like
Arizona's up 4-2.
Yeah, we got to talk about they after the game this week. There was a kiss on the cheek picture posted on the internet.
It.
Woo! It's true love, but we gotta watch out because she's leaving soon, and I believe the first game the Chiefs will play after she is gone is against the Miami Dolphins, and there's a solid chance that they lose.
That's
that
in
game.
Germany.
Yeah, it's in Germany too. So
and then isn't Travis Kelce going to her concert afterwards?
I don't know. Who knows? Probably.
That's what maybe
not.
Where's her concert at?
I think she's going on to Europe.
Yeah, she's doing her international tour starting in water.
That's water.
I thought that was some high quality moonshine.
No, I do got a guy that gives me some, but I haven't gotten any in a while.
There you go. All right. Hey, also on the topic of Vegas, did you know that the public was having an all-time great season in the NFL up until this week? So Vegas rigged it, and I think every single underdog won.
It's absolutely destroyed me.
Vegas is winning after this week, ain't they?
Oh, for sure. Vegas, legitimate. I kid you not. So my Sunday was hilarious, but historically bad. I didn't pay attention to my spreadsheets and things this week, and I didn't realize that I basically had the chalkiest lineup of all time. Sorry, not every underdog won, but most underdogs won. And Vegas was having a historically bad beginning to the season, and then this year they just cleaned house.
Yeah, they probably made a ton of money this weekend.
Thanks to, surprise, surprise, all of a sudden the referees decided to show their face this week, and all of a sudden the underdogs are covering. Is it a coincidence? I don't think so.
There's a script going around again.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? As long as the Chiefs keep winning the script, I don't really care. Let's script the heck out of it. All right, we're going to get just straight into the games. We're going to talk about referee incident number 1, and I think it's the most atrocious of the weekend. I know that other people think that, like the Colts game, which we'll talk about, but the Steelers-Rams game, we just talked about yesterday how the Houston Cougars were screwed out of a yard to get a first down, and we figured out where that yard went. That yard went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who Kenny Pickett on a QB sneak
wasn't even Did he even
It's
get
not-
across the
no.
line of scrimmage?
His helmet doesn't even get across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, first down. Let's do this.
That was another scenario where the ref had like predetermined what was happening, and it's not at
Yeah.
all what happened.
And that really brings me to, besides the stupidity of that one referee who makes a terrible call, because that play happens with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left, and Sean McVay doesn't have any timeouts, he's not allowed to challenge the play.
Which is
But also
makes sense, but it's also annoying. You gotta have timeouts at that point, though.
that's fair. That you could put him on the coaching malpractice of, hey, you got to have timeouts by that point in the game. But I learned a lot about the fourth down rule, and it makes no sense. So everyone knows in the NFL, if it is a turnover-worthy play, it is automatically reviewed. Did you know that if you fail on a fourth down attempt, like it is ruled that you were short, it is automatically reviewed because that's a turnover. And if they judge that you got it, then after the review they'll be like, yeah, you got it. We initially marked you short, but we have video evidence that you got it. There you go. However, if they initially mark that you got the fourth down, even though it possibly is a turnover-worthy play, they don't automatically review it. So it depends on the initial marking of the fourth down. So what the refs should always do is just mark them short.
Is dumb. I didn't know that. That is dumb.
Yeah, I learned that this weekend, that if you are initially marked that you successfully got it, the other coach has to challenge it for it to be reviewed. However, if you don't initially get it, it is automatically reviewed.
Had Sean McVay just used his 3 timeouts just right then too?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
That's the refereeing situation is just like, what are we doing here?
Also, this is once again, I need the NFL to explain, which this has not been properly explained to me yet. Why was there no expedited review in this game? Why could we not send that to New York and just do it like that? The review could have been done in 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
you would have watched. He never crossed the line of scrimmage. There's no way he got a first down. All right, give him the ball. It's frustrating. Yeah. Why do some games have New York will call down and you don't have to call a challenge? Like it happened in the was it the Sunday night game? It might have been the Sunday night game where the ball was clearly an incomplete pass, and we lost Blake.
What happened to Blake?
Oh, he's back. In the Sunday night game, it was clearly an incomplete pass, and I don't remember which coach it was, Shanahan or O'Connell, was about to throw the flag, and the ref just got a call from New York and said incomplete, reset it, and it was fine. And it happened in 5 seconds. Why could we not do that in the Steelers game?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the expedited review, but we got to, in obvious situations, just use it. Like the refs were clearly wrong. It was very obvious.
Yeah. Shane, we're talking about the Steelers-Rams QB sneak scenario. Obviously, he doesn't get it. But what I did learn from this past weekend is that, and I would like your opinion on this as well, if a fourth down conversion is failed, the play is automatically reviewed because it is a turnover, and so they automatically review it. However, if the fourth down play was ruled successful, they don't review it automatically. You have to challenge it. So in that case, the reason why it doesn't get overturned was because Sean McVay was out of timeouts. He was not allowed to challenge the play. And because they ruled him successfully getting the first down, they don't review that play automatically. So it just makes no sense. Once again, the NFL makes no sense.
Well, I'm a pretty big advocate at this rate, as bad as it is, that every play should be reviewed. So I'm on every play be reviewed.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
The games will last 6 hours.
I'm not saying it's got to be reviewed length of review, but as many camera angles and people we've got watching the game in a booth somewhere, It should be a quick look. Oh, okay, we're good. Keep going.
Well, that's that
all.
expedited review. I don't understand why that wasn't used because it was very obviously a terrible spot.
Well, it's just because they don't use the expedited review in every game. So that's
It's
the
only
part
like in
that's confusing.
primetime games or what?
I don't know, but I mean, if that's the case, like that's like not fair.
Yeah.
Like
we've got
the rules should be I am definitely on team. The rules should be the exact same in every game.
Yeah.
Well, that's like this is like soccer, right? You have World Cup qualifying or something, and some games have VAR. Depending on where you play, you may have VAR, you may not.
That's dumb. I am also
like everyone should have it or everyone should not have it. Let's pick
correct.
We've got the problem I have with it is we have a chip in the ball at this rate. Why are we not utilizing the chip in the ball?
We're a big chip and ball kind of podcast over here.
Yeah, if you have the tennis set up, literally you'd be able to see a line, ball not crossed it, not even close to it.
All right, let's move on.
I guarantee you I'm going to be getting a text from my family tomorrow talking about, oh, you're talking about the chip in the ball again? Because I bring it up every Sunday.
Well, if
There
you've
is a chip
got
in the
it,
ball,
why
though.
are we not utilizing it? You're using the technology for something. Why are we not using it for the most important part of the game?
Also, like you could have the same argument for the Drake London play in the Falcons. I think the refs did get it right while he reached for the goal line and whatever. I think they got it right. However, you want to know how we know if they got it right?
In the ball.
There's a chip in that ball.
Yeah, it's at
also,
this rate.
To all of our younger listeners that play football, do not reach at the goal line.
Yep.
It's not worth it unless it is fourth down.
My biggest deal with the whole chip in the ball thing is if we have it, what is the purpose of not using it? Because the NFL will admit there is a chip in the ball, but they won't admit as to why we don't utilize it.
I don't know what they use it for.
That's what I'm saying. What is the point?
I know what they use it for. They use it for all the AWS data.
Yes.
To say like the ball was moving at this speed and it had this spin rate and it was doing blah blah blah.
The stuff that none of us care about.
Also, while we're on that topic, quit telling me how fast people are running in miles per hour. That means nothing to me. How fast does an average person run miles per hour? I understand Tyreek running 22 miles per hour. You understand that in Texas, 22 miles per hour sounds slow.
Yeah.
Like if you're going 22 miles an hour, you're getting run over on a Texas highway. We're gonna fight. So like, don't tell me that. Tell me what his 40 time would be in full pads. That would be impressive.
Yeah.
I will say that I have the same thought. I have the same thought when they tell me the miles per hour. I'm like, I have no earthly idea what that even means.
Like if I went out and ran right now, am I running 15 miles an hour? 20?
I don't know.
12?
If you tell me you're running 22 miles an hour, I'm telling you, you're getting your ass run over in a school zone.
Hold on. We can do the math. 12 miles an hour would be a 5-minute mile, which is fast. Yeah. So 22 miles an hour.
Like a 3-minute mile range.
But then like you're at the same point. I'm not running for a mile. I'm running for 20 yards. How fast can I run for 20 yards?
What did that
Nigerian
situation run?
I love when they talk about the Dolphins, like, oh, they have the 5 fastest plays. And it's like, well, yeah, they also had the 5 plays where the guy was just running straight up straight. Yeah.
I can definitely run 15 miles an hour because that would be 4-minute mile. And I have definitely run in my lifetime a less than 1 minute 400. So I can definitely run 15 miles an hour.
Look,
is my math wrong? It's late.
No, I think you're about right.
I could run 22 miles an hour if you put a black bear behind me telling me you better get going. I'm hauling ass now. I mean,
more like a grizzly bear. I don't worry about the black bears.
Yeah, put a grizzly bear behind me and say, "Hey, little white, you better get going." And shit, you would think I'm crossing the border. You'd see me jump, hip, skip faster than anyone in the world. A Mexican couldn't touch the bear behind me.
Well, I'm really glad Elon decided to cut you out right there. All right, let's go. Scenario numero dos.
Elon's failing tonight.
Let's talk about the Colts and the Browns.
Oh my God.
Before we even get into the refs, I would like, as we are a very fan favorite of the Texas A&M Ags on this program, Myles Garrett is a freak of nature.
Yeah, he is. When he hopped over that dude, I was like, oh my gosh.
Not only
290
that,
pounds.
like everyone's talking about the hop over play, which is insane. He's in a 4-point stance with no running jump and just jumps over people, which when you watch people do that play, they're always like the linebacker that's running in. No, he just jumps, which also there should have been a penalty on that play because you watch the two guys below that. They all push him down. Whatever. I don't care. He also has a strip sack for a touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
Like, he dominates that game. And they gave up like 30-something points, but he still looked like a monster.
Dude, my MVP at this rate.
The average male running speed in the world is 19.52 miles per hour, according to my insider that I just had text me. So
22 doesn't seem that impressive to me.
I mean, 22. I watched Tyreek run, and 22 looks pretty impressive.
No, but it's not like a shot. Like if you had said the 40 time, I feel like it would be more of a discrepancy than like
Olympic sprinters are doing 25 miles an hour. That's insane.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. Look, if I'm a Jew and I'm at Michigan State and you put a picture of Hitler up on the goddamn screen, I'm running 22 miles an hour. I'm out. I'm gone.
So yeah, I mean, obviously Tyreek is fast, but we can run 19 miles an hour. We can do this.
Problem is Tyreek in pads,
right.
like when he's
sorry. My wife would like to say that the average person also is most likely 14 to 17 miles per hour, which is still faster than I thought. So yeah, there we go. All right, what were you gonna say, Shane?
I figured 10 or 12, to be quite honest with you.
Well, then I did the math, and I was like, 12 minutes is a 5-minute mile, and I ran a 4:45 mile in high school as a sophomore, so I definitely know I can run faster than 15 miles or more than 12 miles an hour.
Well, yeah, true.
But yeah, all right, let's get to the referees. The referees just decided to like, hey, we want the Browns to win, and they did. Surprise, surprise.
That was like the most obvious like point shaving scandal in the history of the NFL.
I'm on team. I'm sorry. I know that people are going to be most upset about the illegal contact. I'm way more upset about the pass interference.
Oh, me too. That ball was
clearly thrown away.
Oh yeah,
it was nowhere near him.
It's the same thing that you'll hear me if you watch football with me on a Sunday. You'll hear me screaming in games that I don't even care about. That ball is uncatchable. Pick up the flag. And every time they're just like, nah, uncatchable doesn't exist.
The first penalty was like, it wasn't great, but I also was like, okay,
I mean, the first penalty, he almost trips him.
Yeah, he did reach out.
His legs are more of a problem for me than the arms. The people have more problems with the first penalty because that's the play where there was the strip sack that ends the game.
Yes, yeah. But the second penalty was egregious. The ball was 10 yards over his head.
Yeah, the ball was
I heard somebody talking about it being like, would Wembanyama have even caught it? And they're like, no chance.
I don't know, man.
It was 10 yards over his head.
Those arms look pretty freaking long.
That sucker was 10 yards over his head. It bounced into the stands.
Yeah. All right.
Also, Deshaun Watson is dead.
Yeah, he is dead. He's really bad too.
He's terrible.
He is bad and terrible. PJ Walker also not great.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, and you know what? Good for Gardner Minshew being able to light up the Browns defense, which has looked really good all year.
Gardner deserved that.
Yeah. I do want to have one of our most intense moments on the podcast here. We don't like to talk about other shows and we like to call out ESPN. Sorry, we do like to do that. And their stupidity. Check out us calling out Mr. Acho at the end of our last episode from yesterday. But there's a program that we are very fond of that I have major issues with this week, and that is the Pat McAfee Show. Uh-oh. Pat McAfee is playing with fire, but what I heard from him this week, where he on his program with multi-million viewers talked about how that referee should be investigated, his mom should be investigated because there are people that follow his program religiously,
I have no clue.
and when he says things like that, someone's gonna do something stupid.
Yeah.
I know that he does his takes to be the hot take. We're taking it. That's right. He's not a hot take jockey like the regular ESPN. He is doing the satire, whatever. Everyone cover your ears if you don't like. He's trying to be the sports jackass, and I know that that's what he's doing, and I love that. His show is amazing. He has revolutionized sports media. He makes it fun to watch. I love the people they got going on there, but I will call him out when he makes a mistake, and that was, in my opinion, that was a huge mistake.
The first thing I thought about was the Brett Favre situation. I was like, this man's going to get sued by this official.
Yeah. I mean, he blatantly said that he thinks that guy was on the take. He said it. He said it that guy has a bet somewhere. He said that on air on ESPN.
I also do agree that if there was an obvious person with a bet on a game, that was the most obvious one.
I will not say that he was wrong about his take.
You can't say that.
Those are the things that we can say with our 33 subscribers, not what he can say with multi-million subscribers. Like, because someone's going to do something.
Also, when the refs huddle up after that penalty, dude, none of them like, brother, did you see that ball bounce into the bleachers? Like,
that's the problem.
We had 6 dinguses sitting in a circle, like, talking about the play, and not one of them saw it bounce into the bleachers.
We got to talk about our guy, John Hussey. Was he the ref for this game? I don't know. But Blake mentioned huddling up. John Hussey's crew huddles up on every penalty for like an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
And they throw so many flags. Their games last so long because that Colts game lasted 4.5 hours.
The Colts got hosed out of that deal.
I missed half of the first quarter of the Chiefs game because they wouldn't switch because YouTube TV is stupid.
Great.
I think that's every network.
You know what Hussey does for a living? This is why his name is Hussey.
He's a used car
He's
salesman.
the CEO and co-founder of Cuddly.com.
Oh, my God.
What the heck is Cuddly.com?
I don't want to know, but...
It's a marketplace built specifically for animal welfare groups worldwide to help them fundraise for animals.
I thought it was something Hunter Biden was a part of.
I just saw Cuddly.com and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I figured Hunter Biden was like cocaine.com. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's talk about
his crew does like talking to each other, though. I know that.
They love talking to each other. Let's talk about referee scenario number 3. Sunday Night Football.
There could be 20 of these.
The Eagles somehow played an entire football game without a single penalty against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which the Eagles deserve to win that game. This is not us saying that the Dolphins should have won that game. Yes. The Dolphins got freaking butt slammed. But the fact that the Eagles, which I watched a clip today of Jason Kelce just clotheslining a guy, which brought me joy because it was funny. But the fact that he was gonna like sack Jalen Hurts and like Kelce just wraps him around the neck and drags him down from behind, and I was like, the referee is right there and calls nothing.
There were so many obvious ones. The face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's like, you got 6 dudes on the field. How does no one see? Everyone on TV saw it, guaranteed. Every single person on TV saw it. Yeah. How did you not see he grabbed his face mask?
I just don't. I'm sorry. There should never be a scenario where a team goes a whole game
without one penalty.
Every team should have a penalty.
Honestly,
you're going to tell me how many times did they flag Christian Wilkins for lining up offsides? You're telling me none of those defensive tackles for the freaking Eagles ever had their hand in the neutral zone? I bet I could find one.
At halftime, those dudes should be talking to each other like, okay, there's been 4 flags on one team and 0 on the other.
Yeah.
Probably should just call one on that team so it doesn't look so bad.
Let's get the hockey ref scenario in there. And don't make it like a 40-yard pass interference call.
Yeah.
But like, hey,
a holding?
Here's the play where we're going to call the holding because we know there's going to
be one. You can't – there's no football game in American history where a team has legitimately not committed a penalty.
Yeah.
Look, that's my thing. I'm not sitting here saying that the outcome of the game is what it is, but there's got to be at least one at minimum penalty on each team.
Yeah. The Dolphins couldn't handle the Eagles' defensive line. That's
no chance. No chance.
Not a chance.
But still, you've got
they honestly their defense took the Eagles' offense away pretty well. They just couldn't stop them on 3rd and 4th and short.
Yeah, that's a problem because there's so many times, especially in the NFL, where teams get to like that 4th and short, and most of the time you feel relieved. Against the Eagles, you're like, well, that's first down.
Oh, for sure. Literally, that last drive or whatever it was just like to go down by or to go. They were going down the field to go up by 2 scores. Every time it was 3rd and 4th and 1. I was like, well, first down. All right, keep it going.
If they got within 3 yards, I said it was first down.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Sirianni straight up came out and said, "We're 1st and 9 every play. Anytime we get a first down, it's 1st and 9."
But it's really like 1st and 7.
Yeah,
they can get 3 yards out of that play.
Yeah, if it's 3rd and 3, they should just run that play twice, and they'll get it. Yeah. They'll get the first. They won't get it on 3rd down, but they'll get it on 4th down, guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not team ban the tush push, but it is awful. It's awful to watch.
Yeah.
No, because the stats tell you that they're great at it, and every other team
I agree.
is pretty shitty at it.
But it is annoying to watch.
It is, but it's like, do you ban a play just because it's good at it? No, that's like they should be rewarded.
The thing with the NFL, I agree. The thing with like the NFL or like football in general is like either team has a shot on any given play. With that one, there is no shot for the defense.
Also, with their last one, not every player was set at all, and the refs missed another penalty there.
Yeah.
The Eagles, what I love the Eagles, what they do, and the reason why all the other teams kind of suck at it is because they go and they just immediately snap it. Every team just immediately snaps it. The Eagles are really good at like setting it up slowly, and then it doesn't matter because once Kelce snaps the ball, he knows that he's going to win his push, and the guards know they're going to win their push. And we can stop talking about the fact that Jalen Hurts benches 600 or squats 600 pounds, because by the time that he falls forward, Jason Kelce on one of those tush pushes was 6 yards down the field. He bear crawled through everyone he blew his guy off the ball for 6 yards while bear crawling. As someone who used to have to do bear crawls for middle school football, bear crawls suck. Can you imagine doing that with an extra 400 pounds on you? That sounds awful. And he did it for 6 yards.
And the thing is, even if
40 years old.
Yeah.
Well, even if Hurts got like stopped initially, he's gonna fall forward.
For sure. Well, yeah, the QB sneak should just be banned because it's impossible to tackle the quarterback. The QB sneak should not be banned. The QB sneak should be the one play where the player doesn't have to be down. They get one push, and then the play is dead.
Yeah.
It should just be initial push, and then the ref should immediately come in and blow forward progress dead.
But on those QB sneaks, they don't blow forward progress down, and then the quarterback eventually is on the outside
starts
of the
rolling.
hash. Yeah, he starts rolling.
Yeah.
And then eventually he falls forward once he finds an opening.
It's the same thing that happened with Kelce on his weird pitch play this week, where he got stopped initially, but then it was impossible for him to be down. And then his offensive lineman just pushed him to where he was in the end zone. It was just, whatever. It's stupid. All right. There's that. I will say Eagles held the Dolphins offense at 10 points, which is pretty impressive. Because their other 7 points were from that weird pick six, which was a really fun pick six. I will say that. Also, Eagles fans, comment below. Are you concerned that your quarterback is currently second in the NFL in turnovers?
Shit, I didn't.
Y'all know that? Jalen Hurts is second in the NFL in turnovers.
Didn't he have a game with like 3 turnovers?
He had 2 last night.
And he had 3 the game before, I believe.
Yeah. He has 10 turnovers on the year. But, Dak Prescott is washed because he turned the ball over. But, no one says anything about Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts' team is way better than Dak Prescott's team.
That's a fact.
I will say this: Dak Prescott is still washed, though.
But
I'll also
hey,
say
the
I had a
funny
hard time with Julio Jones and AJ Brown both being on the same team.
Julio Jones wearing 80 is wrong. It's
Yeah,
wrong.
that's weird.
It's wrong.
The funny thing is, Howie Roseman was gonna get fired 2 years ago.
He should be fired right now. He is breaking some law of the salary. How did they get Kevin Byard? It's just
I
not
saw
possible.
that.
It's not possible.
I was like, what are these teams doing? They're just giving the Eagles every single player that they want.
Yeah,
I understood it last year because Jalen Hurts was on his rookie contract. Oh, I guess he's still on his rookie contract this year, isn't he? It's the extension,
extended, yeah.
but the extension doesn't kick in until next
year.
season, right?
Is that what happens?
I think so.
I believe so, yeah.
I was like,
but I will say it's crazy that every single like roster move somehow involves the Eagles.
But my thing is, if you're a GM of another team, why are you going to let the rich get richer?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is only making $6 million against the cap this year, so that's why they can still afford it. It's next year that it's a big deal.
Which they're just going to have to cut a bunch of guys.
Of any other team,
I mean, Fletcher Cox is gone. Kelce's gone.
You think about
Lane Johnson's gone. The Eagles are going to be bad.
They do have a lot of young defensive players.
Yeah, but their offensive line is going to get obliterated.
Unless Kelce says I'll play for free.
Honestly,
I don't know if that's allowed. I think it's illegal because he has to make the vet men.
Well, I'd play for $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million. It's like 1.2 million. But in the NFL, the offensive line, in my opinion, has been proven to be the most important position group.
O-line, D-line, baby.
Yeah, you need an O-line. Like,
yeah, that's a fact. Otherwise,
I mean,
Joe Burrow happens.
Yeah, they might not might not be like the best teams out there, but they are always judged at them. You watch the San Francisco 49ers and the Eagles every year. What are they drafting in their first rounds? They're only drafting offensive and defensive line. Like the Eagles didn't need Jalen Carter, but they drafted him.
Yeah, because what is he going to do?
You draft. Yeah, you strengthen your strength.
Plus, you need those defensive linemen to be young too, because you need them to be cheap. Because once they hit Aaron Donald status, if they're any good, then you're screwed.
Yeah, because half those defensive players on the Eagles are going to be playing for the freaking Las Vegas Raiders in 2 years. I mean,
you know what? Now that I think about it, what does Roseman have on the GM of the Titans? Because they gave him Brown for nothing and Byard for nothing.
Yeah, they just giving him players.
They're just hey, I don't
wanking his wife. That's what it is.
And I'm sure the Titans are like paying his salary too.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. There's 35 minutes on the referees. Let's talk about like actual football things. It wasn't all on referees, but those were the 3 big referee games. There were 2 other big games that I marked down from this week that we could talk about in some detail. The Ravens slaughtered the Lions.
Gosh.
That's a bury the script game for the Lions there.
It's real funny that Jonathan's not on this podcast today.
I disagree because Jared Goff can't play outside on grass. It's just a fact.
Hey, Lamar has the 3rd best completion percentage in the league right now.
Lamar Jackson is the MVP, and it's not close.
Yeah, he played ridiculous. Every time I didn't watch the game because I couldn't get it on TV, but every time I saw the game cast, it was like touchdown.
He played really well in London last week too. They just didn't score touchdowns. Lamar Jackson is the MVP, and it's not a debate right now.
They didn't score touchdowns because they had 6 field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think that's kind of I don't think the Ravens are 40 points better than the Lions.
No, I don't agree that they're good, but
brings up some concerns if you're the Lions for sure.
I have a problem with the Lions playing outdoors on grass, which is where you're going to play a lot of your games, especially in January.
Yeah. That was ugly.
But the Lions are going to win their division. I mean, the Packers are woeful. Yeah, the Vikings looked better, but the Lions have such a head start that they'll be fine. And I mean, We don't need to talk about the Bears. The Bears are useless. So
Yeah,
the Bears have Tyler Bagent.
We have to watch
so.
them at Sunday Night Football this week.
Oh gosh,
Who?
I probably won't watch that.
it's the Bears versus It's not the Raiders. It's
Is it?
Hold on, I got it right here.
It's like the Chargers or something. Chargers.
Chargers? No. Yeah, Bears Chargers in LA.
Oh, goody.
Marianne Doe's gonna get it to be happy. Good for her.
Oh my gosh! If I see her
Oh,
face
God.
one more time, that's not a real human being. I don't even care what.
All right,
he
yeah,
says.
the Buffalo Wild Wings part officially got
That's
me.
exactly what I said when I saw the Buffalo Wild Wings head. I said, "Oh, this is over. She's not a real human being." Nobody watches football like that. I don't care if you're the super fan. I wouldn't even see Boltman doing that.
I mean, I get animated, but I'm
Not like that. Not like that.
She looks like she also just like I don't know what it is.
Chiefsaholic doesn't even do that.
Her well, you'll never know because he wears a mask during the game. You don't know what he looks like. Her facial expressions, she looks like she's an animated cartoon character.
That's what I'm saying. She looks like she was told before the game to act like a super fan, but had never watched a game in the NFL before. And they told her like, act like you love this team for your entire life.
I think she is a Chargers fan.
I don't think so.
But I think that she was
maybe.
I think she could. Porque no los dos, Blake. I think that she is a Chargers season ticket holder, and they told her, "Hey, we need some engagement because when we come to like Los Angeles, it's always the away team fans that are here. So we're gonna put you on the screen."
She looks like an autistic child.
Man, why you gotta keep digging to the well, buddy?
When she was throwing her hand, it was like 1st and 10, like at like their own like 20, and she was literally like.
But we can't wear a Buffalo Wild Wings hat. What are we doing?
That's what I said. She sold out. She's fake. She's a plant.
That was
good for her. Good for her though, because
she definitely. I will say this: I don't think she was a plant in Los Angeles. She was definitely a plant in Kansas City.
Oh, for sure.
The Chargers bought her ticket.
She was front row.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was in a suite.
That's true.
In Los Angeles.
I hate that.
So she got the money.
I honestly hate that lady.
I hate that everyone's trying to build suites instead of seats for their fans. It's stupid. We'll bring up a positive about Pat McAfee. As someone from Pat McAfee did say that in those suites that she was sitting in, you can't see squat.
See anything. Yeah. But she said on the interview, she said, I can't see the game, so I have to look up at the screen.
Yeah. Us poor folk don't matter, Austin. They don't care about us.
Dude, yeah, I need the Falcons. I thought their games were going to be cheap. I was looking at tickets for us to go to Atlanta for Thanksgiving, and it was
expensive.
Yeah,
no, they're like $100, but the flights are insane.
Flights right now are ridiculous.
The flights were like $600, and I was like, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't do that. I was like, I can't do that. I don't know if it would be cheaper if I drove to Dallas. I didn't look into that, but I can't do a $600 flight right now.
I'd rather just drive to Atlanta.
I'm not doing that either. I don't got time for that. I can't take off from work.
Yeah, that's a 16-hour drive.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's a heck of a drive.
If it was the Sunday before and we had all of Thanksgiving break or whatever where I didn't have to take off work, I would do the 16-hour drive. But it's not.
It's not that much better.
$600 for a flight.
300 from DFW.
Oh, still. Last time I got on a flight, I had some Karen in his whole Muslim suit, and I said, "Hey, if this some bitch gets up,
can you just relax on it today, bud? Like, can we just chill? There's no need for that. That added nothing to the podcast.
It added positivity.
It did not at all. Have you learned nothing from the Michigan State conversation from yesterday? Let's just let's not say offensive things for no reason out there that spreads hate. All right, let's move it on. The Bills lost to the Patriots, which, speaking of hate, I hate the Bills, and watching them lose to the Patriots was great.
The Bills are dead.
Their defense being so injured has killed them. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think they're a good. For some reason, I just don't think they're good.
I mean, they lost Matt Milano, which is a huge, and Tre'Davious White, and
Their offense don't even look that good though.
I mean, they scored 25 against the Patriots defense, which has looked pretty good. Patriots defense held the Dolphins to 24.
Yeah, something bad.
I mean, their offense does look off, and I can tell you what it is. It's Josh Allen's long hair.
That could be.
Cut your hair, man. You look stupid.
You expect Josh Allen's offenses just to go on the field. You treat Josh Allen like you do any other good quarterback, where you just expect him to score, and he's not. They're not doing that this year.
He's not Samson. He ain't Samson from the Bible. Is it Samson?
I mean, we know what it is. Yeah, it's Samson. It's the Madden curse. He's the Madden cover this year.
Yep. Oh, I didn't even know he was.
Yep.
He's dead.
Madden
the Bills are dead.
So.
Bills are dead. All right. Let's get to our teams. Once again, Jonathan's not here to talk about the Raiders. They lost to a middle school football team this week. So last week we gave them praise for whooping up on Running Brushy Middle School. This week they lost to Henry Middle School. I mean, how do you not play O'Connell at any point during this game?
That didn't even make sense to me. McDaniel literally came out and said, like, this is not the preseason anymore. And it's like, what does that mean?
I mean, you're right. It's not the preseason, but you know what else it's not? It's not 2008 when Brian Hoyer was decent-ish at quarterback.
Brian Hoyer has been in the league for 20 years. It's about time we let him go.
Yeah,
look, we've seen this experiment play out before. It's not good.
I feel like when you draft these young quarterbacks, at some point you just got to let them. Like if the situation arises, you got to just throw them in there. I really believe that because you'll never know what you have unless you play them.
And this week they have the Lions in Detroit.
Oh, they're gonna get steamboated.
I'm afraid. I'm real afraid. I'm afraid it's going to be ugly. And that's Monday night. That's a primetime game that our primetime games this week. We have the Bears and Chargers on Sunday night, the Raiders at Lions on Monday night, and the Bucks at the Bills on Thursday.
What a slate of games.
What are we doing?
Dan Campbell's going to be holding up. We got 6, y'all. We got 6. We got 6.
I mean, the Lions might win that game by 40, but you know what?
I thought the 49ers
the primetime games are all rigged anyway, so I guarantee you somehow the Raiders cover.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We also had the Falcons. The Falcons officially have a good defense.
And Desmond Ritter.
They passed the Baker Mayfield test. I was debating going into my gambling for this weekend on whether I would take the Falcons over the Bucks, but I didn't know whether or not the Falcons had a good defense. But it has been proven at this point in time with the Bucks that Baker Mayfield will play amazing against a very bad defense. But if you have a good defense, then the Bucks offense will look terrible. And the Bucks offense looked terrible. So congratulations to the Falcons for having a good defense.
Yeah, and they probably should have won that game 34-13.
Yeah, probably. But, maybe Desmond Ritter shouldn't fumble going into the end zone.
They had 3 turnovers within the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it's good times.
We don't need to look at the Saints.
Oh, we're going to – oh, wait. I did want everyone's opinion. I kind of mentioned it earlier. The Drake London reaching for the goal line scenario. Do we think that the refs got it right or wrong?
Yeah, his hand hit just in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was lucky.
If his hand didn't hit, would you have called it a safety or out on the 1 yard line, or the touchback or out on the 1 yard line?
I think it was out.
I think it bounced backwards, right? So it's where it goes out of bounds. So it definitely hits the goal line, but then it bounces backwards and goes out. So I don't think it ever should have been a touchback.
Yeah, I thought it was out. I wasn't paying that close attention once I saw his hand hit because I was like, well, his hand hit, so it's done.
Yeah.
Dead.
All it has to do is the ball cross the plane, right?
But he had already fumbled the ball. But for it to be a touchback, it's got to go out of bounds in the end zone, and I think it went out of bounds on the half yard line.
He was darn lucky his hand came down.
Yes. But yeah, good for the Falcons. I still don't think the Falcons are going to win the South, but I think they should.
I still think they are somehow, but you got to throw Heineke in there at some point.
Okay, sorry. If they switch to Heineke, I will put all of my money on them to win the South. But if they stay with Desmond Ridder for the whole year, I trust the Saints with Derek Carr or the Bucks with Baker Mayfield more than I trust the Falcons. Desmond Ridder is that bad.
But I think
we know it at this point. We have watched 7 games. He's that bad.
I agree, but I think the Falcons as a team are good enough to somehow win games with him.
I think the Saints are good enough as a team to win with Derek Carr.
Hey, the Saints been bringing out the Jamie Winston chance. So,
although I don't know, we'll have to see how long Chris Olave is in prison for going 35 over his speed limit.
Is that a normal thing? I mean, is that normal?
Okay, hey.
Inside of a 35, I don't know if they arrest.
An arrest? I mean, I can see a ticket for sure, but an arrest?
This is a serious. I've had this happen to me. I don't know where this happened. In Louisiana to Chris Olave, but I was speeding through a parish, and I got pulled over. And the cop said, "Hey, why do you think I pulled you over?" I said, "I don't know," and which I knew I was speeding. But the primo next to me was speeding too. And he said, "Well, you were speeding and you got Texas plates, so we pulled you over." And I'm like, "Well, bitch, like, primo next to me was speeding too, and he had Louisiana plates, so why the hell does it matter?" So I think the Louisiana folks are a little biased if I've got my my own take on it. Now, I don't know where this happened, to be honest. I just saw the headline that he got arrested.
I mean, it's got to be somewhere near New Orleans. It's not like he could be like, I mean, every team in the NFL is playing this week. There's no bye week. So he's got to be around New Orleans for practice reasons.
But it didn't say it was a parish. That's the only thing I got.
I'm just saying, like, he's got to be, you know,
he was in Louisiana.
Yeah, he's in Louisiana. I just love. Also, shout out to whatever that police officer's name is. When this guy is handcuffed and he's over here like, I played for the Saints trying to get out of it, and he just goes, so?
Yeah, he's literally like, and? What would you like me to do, sir?
Not a good look for Olave or the cop, to be honest with you. Both of them looked bad in that situation.
But I would be mad if I was going 35 over and I got arrested. I'd be like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I am intrigued to see. Are we gonna see any, you know, alcohol relation to it? Any drug relation to it?
He didn't seem drunk though when I watched the video.
No, I mean, I think he seemed fine.
I'm telling you, something else.
I feel like if he had a weapon, if we had a weapon, then we would have already heard that.
Yeah, because when they charged him with whatever, they would have said like,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, they charged him with
drugs,
reckless driving.
It was just reckless driving. Like, he was going 35 over.
Look, hey, this is a PSA to all police officers that listen to this podcast, which is probably 0. So let me give you your PSA. If you take someone to jail for driving 35 miles an hour over the speed limit, and you get shot in the line of duty, you called for that son of a bitch. I'm sorry.
I mean,
oh my God, no.
All right, Shane is just Shane's trying to get us to get.
No, you have. That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard. It's 35 miles an hour.
If he was going 60 over, I would have been like, okay.
Hey, 35 miles an hour is 1.5 Tyreek Hills.
Yeah, okay.
Think about that. Think about how fast that is.
It's dumb. I mean, it is certainly dumb, but it's like 35 over. That's arrest level.
Yeah,
I guarantee the judge is gonna be like, okay, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
I mean, he's not gonna spend any jail time. He's gonna pay his like little fine, which he makes millions of dollars, so he'll be fine, and he'll be at practice tomorrow.
No, but you still shouldn't get taken off in handcuffs over that. I'm telling you, if I was the one getting pulled over and got to jail over 35 miles an hour, I would be.
I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're 35. over is.
He wasn't in the school zone.
I mean, he was in a neighborhood though.
Who cares?
Dude, that's how kids get murdered.
Well,
it's certainly dumb. It is
if
certainly
he's
dumb.
going 105 and a 70, that's not an arrest. That's a whatever. If you're going 60 and a 25, I don't know, man. I'm for it. I'm not for it. Sorry, but I understand it. I understand it. I don't know if it's take him away in handcuffs or if it's just like, hey, drive with me to the station so I make sure you pay your fine right now, like whatever it is. But like, I mean, can you imagine some of the streets that we grew up on going like where the speed limit was 25 and so we're playing hockey in the street and someone's driving 60? We can't get out of the way fast enough. The human being only runs 14 miles an hour, as we've proven on this podcast.
No, I get that, but it's just,
it is dumb. I mean, he's an idiot for doing it.
Yeah, it's just soft. It just
felt a little weird when I was like, he was going 35 over, he got arrested.
Hey,
this is news.
Speaking of soft, the Los Angeles Chargers are soft, and the Chiefs beat them again. It was great.
Yeah,
it's good times.
Chargers are dead. So does that make Justin Herbert? He's under 500 now.
Yeah, my sister actually brought this up on Sunday. She was like, Herbert lost to the Cowboys and the Chiefs, and this is the guy that y'all like that everyone says is better than Mahomes. And I was like, thank you, Kristen, for that. I appreciate that comment.
This podcast does not condone that.
Don't get me wrong. I think Justin Herbert is still a very good quarterback who just has, as someone who just watched Brandon Staley for 3 hours, Brandon Staley, like, do we have someone watching him? Like, he needs to be in therapy or something. Something's wrong with Brandon Staley. Like, he looks like his life has fallen apart. He looks like any president of the United States after 4 years that's just been just demoralized. He looks awful.
When I saw him last week, I was like, that dude looks like he's 30 years older than he was.
Yeah, he needs to shave the beard. The beard is bad. And also he needs to stop being an idiot. But even this game, he didn't do anything crazy. His offense just scored 0 points in the second half.
Yeah, you never really felt like the Chargers were any threat to win that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I did for a second. And then Justin Herbert did what he always does against the Chiefs, and he threw a red zone interception, and then it was fine.
I just think the Chargers are just dead.
The Chiefs had gone 3 and out, 2 possessions in a row, and then the Chargers were driving down the field and were going to score to tie before he threw that pick, and I felt nervous. But then, after that, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I honestly think Brandon Staley's the issue at this point. Like, there's no other blame to be had but Staley.
Oh, yeah, there is. Their defense is atrocious.
Well, but he's part of the problem because he's like an old school Big 12 coach. I want to run and score, and I don't care about.
He's a defensive mastermind, but his defense is always terrible.
Oh God, he was a quarterback. He's not a defensive mastermind. That's my problem. I know you're being sarcastic, Austin. I'm not arguing with that, but it's just
that I am
stupid.
All right, time for the quick hits section. We're gonna there's only 4 games in the quick hits. There's a lot of teams on bye this week, so
yeah, there was.
But we have no teams on bye this week, so tune in next week for a episode that's gonna be jam packed full of games. Okay, so real quick, the Niners lost to the Vikings.
Terrible.
And
I don't know what to make of the Niners. I think it's just midseason.
It's just because Debo doesn't play. The stats show it's just like Jared Goff on grass. If Jared Goff is on grass outside, then he's bad. If Brock Purdy doesn't have Debo, then Brock Purdy sucks.
My concern was more so on the defense for the 49ers. Kirk Cousins kind of diced them up.
Yeah, but you know what? He's the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football this year. So
Primo looked like a goddamn god at quarterback.
Well, to be fair, he did throw a touchdown that was definitely supposed to be an interception.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
So that does kind of change.
That helped, but still, like I felt like every third and about 5, it was going to be a first down. There's going to be Jordan Addison was going to be wide open at some point.
For sure. The Niners played another bad game.
Who would have thought that the play action was the Niners beater?
Let me tell you that the Niners play the Bengals this week. So, also the Bengals were just on a bye. So the Niners
don't have a for sure W.
The Niners need to watch out. They could be on a 3-game losing streak. Yep. And we could be, but still, the Niners are still one of the teams that it's definitely not a guarantee that they win the Super Bowl, but they're one of the few teams that can win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
For sure, but it makes it a lot different if you have to go to Philly for the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I don't really think that matters. I think honestly they need Philly to be eliminated because Philly beats them every time.
Maybe so, but I think if you have home field advantage, it's definitely
helps the 49ers do have a problem, and that problem is Brock Purdy.
He didn't play necessarily a terrible game, but he had a bunch of dumb mistakes.
He's not terrible, but there are teams that he will struggle against, and they are called good football teams. Any team with a decent defensive line, Brock Purdy looks bad.
I ain't gonna lie. There was multiple times during that game I watched Shanahan just drop his head, and I was like, oh, he wish he had Trey Lance right now just to throw someone else out there. I'm not saying Trey Lance is better, but I'm just saying he just wanted someone else to throw out there because it was like
Purdy has some issues that I'm starting to see on the tape. I'm not saying that he can't win them a Super Bowl, but I'm saying that it's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's talk about all the games that were just absolutely atrocious real quick. Number one, the Commanders versus the Giants.
That was the hardest game to watch that I probably have ever watched.
Easiest under bet of my life.
And I was stuck watching it.
I will say this. That game sucked. Everything about it. We don't need to talk about it. But are we officially on the Tyrod Taylor redemption story where we're going full circle, gets the lung punctured or whatever, so Justin Herbert gets to play. Now Daniel Jones gets hurt. I don't think Daniel Jones gets his job back.
I'd let Tyrod
this season, because you're obviously got to stick with him because you paid him all this money, but Tyrod is better.
Yeah, that's not especially with the way that team is made up.
Yeah. So I don't think that Daniel Jones, when he gets healthy, because it's like a neck injury, I think that they can just keep pushing it down the road of just like, yeah, we don't want to risk him, blah, blah, blah. We paid all of this money, and then he'll play next year.
Old lady just got
what is he owed next
bloody nose in the Warriors game.
I don't know. He's getting like $40 million a year. So
yeah, $40 million a year.
Yeah,
I thought it was virtually a 1-year deal.
That's the only bad part. They're pretty much stuck with him.
Yeah. All right.
I thought it was a 4-year deal.
I don't know. Game number 2 that no one cared about was the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Cardinals are playing this season perfectly, and I love them.
Yeah. I will never bet against them.
The only thing that is against the Cardinals is that the fact that the Panthers are worse. Because everything else, they're like, hey, we're going to play competitive for the first half and then lose on purpose. Let's go, team.
The Panthers, yeah. The Cardinals are what the Panthers wish they were.
Yeah. To which no Cardinals, like every Cardinals fan came into the season like, we're not going to even win 3 games. And that's fine.
Jonathan Gannon might be kind of good.
But all the Cardinals fans like kind of have like, they don't hate watching their games. They know they're going to lose, but they enjoy watching it. It's like the Texans last year where the Texans like played really good defense or whatever, but their offense was so bad. Like the Cardinals, they'll hang around for a while and then they'll lose.
Yep. Yeah, you played perfect.
Good for them. They're playing it perfect. And no one would ever accuse the Cardinals of tanking.
No.
Except for me, because they are tanking.
They've been in the majority of every game they've played.
Yeah. Although the Cardinals, I will say, they are starting to not cover spreads, so be careful.
Yeah, I'll never bet on a game they're in because you just never know what to expect.
Yeah. And then finally, the Packers and Broncos. Both these teams sucks. They both suck. And I wrote on top of that, now watch this week, the Broncos are going to beat the Chiefs. Now that I said that, but they both are terrible.
The Packers are absolutely awful.
I don't know if it's Jordan Love is not the guy or LaFleur is not the guy, but someone is not the guy.
It's LaFleur.
I saw some stuff I saw some film watchers talking about it. There were so many plays where you'd have 2 receivers running right next to each other.
That did happen a lot. Shoot, what was was it the Dolphins game that happened a lot too?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
it was
Like
weird.
they have a lot of plays where there's like Jordan Love has no shot because you have 4 receivers and 2 of them are in the exact same spot.
Yeah, but is that one of those things that Jordan is supposed to do with the line because that's what Aaron Rodgers used to
Maybe.
do,
Or it's
or
the
is it because
receivers. It's the receivers not reading the routes correctly or something. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
But your quarterback ain't gonna have a shot when you're doing that.
I don't blame
So I think the Packers are straight up bad.
Jordan Love 100%, but it's like Matt LaFleur is not good.
I won't go that far yet.
I mean, he's had his issues in the past, right? Like, you go get blown out by San Francisco in the playoffs, and then you don't make any adjustments the next year when you
Kick a field goal down 8.
You kick the field goal down 8 with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback from the 6-yard line. I mean, he's got some issues, but I don't think Jordan Love is really that great either. So it could be both of them, to be honest.
I think it is.
All right, boom. We're perfectly timed right at about an hour. Let's wrap it up with our picks for the week. Okay, we are really crushing it in the gambling.
Yeah.
I will say I did pull a Shane Stachkowski this week, and I have already won one of my picks, so I'm about it.
Liberty.
Because my boys at Liberty covered the spread yet again, so appreciate it, Liberty. So yeah, since I already did that, I got Liberty -4, and they covered. So sorry for all those that are listening. I will throw out. I did responsibly come with a 4th pick as well because I know that one of them I already was done, but I couldn't bet James Madison this week, so I had to go back to Liberty. You know what? It keeps working for me, even though I'm not winning these bets. The Chiefs are winning the games, so I'm going to keep doing it. And one of these days, I'm going to be right because the Chiefs are historically bad at covering spreads. I got the Broncos +7.5. I think that they're not. I think the Chiefs win by the touchdown, but don't get the hook. Maybe, who knows? Also, it's in Denver. They're coming off a win. The Chiefs are down. The Chiefs have played too well for too many games in a row. They're due a loss at some point, and I think. If it's not a loss, they're going to play bad.
In that stadium as long as she wants.
Taylor might not be at the game. I don't know. So, she might not be on her international tour this week, but she might be doing prep work for it. So maybe she can't come to Denver. So I got the Broncos +7.5, and I am taking. We're going a little ballsy on the last one. I'm taking the Houston Texans -3. On the road. I'm terrified of that one.
I wanted to take that one, but I couldn't do it to myself.
And then my bonus pick, I do have the Rams +6.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to actually bet that one because I don't know if the Rams defensive line, I don't know if the Rams offensive line can block the Cowboys defensive line. However, this is a live bet scenario, if after 2 drives, it looks like the Rams can block the Cowboys offensive line, Puka and Cooper Kupp will tear the absolutely awful secondary of the Cowboys apart. So
I can see that. That's another reason I didn't touch that one.
The Rams, I think, in my bet is a live bet, but because we don't do that, I'm taking the Rams +6.5, and I'm just hoping that they will cover and that they will be able to block the line because Puka is like 2nd in the league in receiving yards as a rookie, which is insane.
Yeah.
Second or 3rd.
5th round pick or 6th round pick?
Yeah, he's 2nd or 3rd. Also, Cooper Kupp has looked great in both games that he has played in.
Yes, he has.
He has looked very good. So, all right, those are my picks.
All right, I'm taking Minnesota -1 over Green Bay, which is more so an indictment of Green Bay being very bad. I'm taking Atlanta, the Dirty Birds, -2.5 over Tennessee. Because I think Will Levis is that bad. And I'm taking Duke +4.
That's fine.
Over Louisville.
For those that are going to put their money on our picks that are great, we're starting to feel it a little bit, I feel like. if you're going to take the Vikings, which we have to do it against spread because that's the rules of our bets. But if you're going to bet the Vikings -1, you might as well just take the money line and just protect yourself. A little gambling tip for you there. Also, in like so many of these scenarios, we would definitely be buying down the points. Like Shane, for example, is about to take someone +7. You would definitely buy that up to 7.5 to protect yourself. So just little gambling nuggets, but that's not how we do it for our own competition.
No, we also do this on Tuesdays.
We also do these on Tuesday nights. So lots of things can change between then and there. And also, don't ever take a +3 spread because that's weak. That's weak sauce. We don't do that here, except for if you're Jonathan, who sucks, but he is currently winning. So that's, whatever. Maybe he doesn't suck.
That's because he takes.
That's because he takes a +3 spread and he has a draw, but it's fine. All right,
Takes
push,
the
whatever
easy
you wanna
way
call it.
out.
Right.
I got West Virginia +7 once again against UCF. Then I got Oregon State -3.5 against Arizona, and then the Eagles -6.5 against the Commies.
Look at that. Shane straight down the board, just all bets that you should change the number on. Look at that. It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
But you know what? That's not how we roll here on the Football is King podcast. But we appreciate you listening to yet another episode. We'll get the full gang back together one of these days. Hopefully next week. Next week for sure on the NFL podcast, we will have a full slate because we have 16 games. No bye weeks next week. It's going to be a good one. And we hope that all of your teams win and that you are successful in all of your gambling. And we will see you next week. Thank you for listening.
Philadelphia loses. Philly loses.
Oh, yeah. Hey, congratulations to the Arizona Diamondbacks. We did say by the time that we finish this recording, we would know who is in the World Series. We got the Diamondbacks versus the Rangers. I guess we're going to root for the Rangers because,
Hammer the Rangers.
Texas. All right. See y'all next week.
All right.